Greetings, I'm Reverend Dr. John E. Jackson Sr., and I am the senior pastor of the Trinity United Church of Christ in the great city of Gary, Indiana, where we are not just another church, but we are a culturally conscious, Christ-centered church that's committed to the community. We are unashamedly Black, and we are unapologetically Christian. And it's Wednesday, and I want to offer what I like to call a hump day homily or some midweek motivation for you. In the opening to his classic work, Chancellor Williams has a story that is just incredibly powerful. His classic work is The Destruction of Black Civilization. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. In The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, the opening has this story that says, the traveler asked the old man, whatever happened to the people of Sumer? Because legend tells that they were a great Black people. Whatever happened to the people of Sumer? The old man sighed. He said, they forgot their history, so they died. And I offer that to you, that we, in this moment of crisis and chaos and conflict and a time of presidential election where we have so much at stake, don't you forget who you are and what has been vouchsafed to you and to me. We come from a people who charted the heavens, the stars, and all of the celestial beings in orbit way before anybody else. We come from a people who circumnavigated the earth by sea 700 years before Jesus was born, 500 years before Solomon was born. We come from a people that gave the world all of the great disciplines, from geometry to geography, the study of geography, to astrology, to all of these disciplines, from music to architecture. We come from a people who gave the world civilization. But if that seems too distant for you, don't you forget that we also come from a people who had revolutionary resistance running through their veins and who had resiliency that is unimaginable coming through the great horror of chattel slavery in this nation. Don't you forget what their prayers and their work and their labors were for you and me to continue the struggle. The struggle continues. So you need to vote and fight. You need to vote and organize. Don't just vote, but you need to vote and hold people accountable. You need to be engaged in the fight no matter who wins the election. So let me close with a scene from my now favorite show on HBO, Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it, but you got to start from the beginning because it will blow your mind. And yes, it has a lot of sci-fi in it. And so this scene gripped me. In this scene from this past episode, the character Letty, she is carrying a baby. Her and the other main character, Atticus, they have a child, but their future has been threatened. And they have to go back into time and retrieve a book that has names in it, the Book of Names. It's like Sankofa. Go back to retrieve what you missed so that you can now go forward. And they have a time machine to help them go back. But here it is. They have to go back to the year 1921 during the Tulsa uprising, where white folk and the government of the United States attacked this Black community that used to be known as Black Wall Street. They have to go back to the very day where the fires burned in Tulsa, to the very house that burned down that was their family house. They have to go back. The time machine takes them back, and here's the scene. Letty now is in the house, and she's searching one of the rooms for the Book of Names. The elder statesperson comes in, Mother Hattie, and she notices that Letty is not from their area and maybe not from their time. She has a sense that something is up. And so she asks her, "What are you doing here?" And Letty has to explain, "I have to find this book of names because our future is at stake. I need you to help me find that book of names." Mother Hattie says, don't you see these fires? They are attacking us. I have to fight for my family now. And Letty says, "I'm carrying your legacy in my womb. I'm carrying your legacy. If I don't get back with that book of names, your entire lineage will die out." Mother Hattie goes to the safe. She grabs the book. She comes to Letty, and as she hands the book with the names in it, she explains to her, "This is the instructions. I have never opened the book, but the instructions will show you how you must open it. It is very important to follow the instructions." But then these words come out of Mother Hattie's mouth. She says, "When my great-great-grandson is born, he will be my faith turned to flesh. When my great-great-grandson is born, he will be my faith turned to flesh." And I want to say to somebody, you are some ancestors' faith turned to flesh. Let me share with you from the book of names. Reverend Harriet 44 pistol packing Tubman. Let me share with you from the book of names, Reverend Jarena Lee. Let me share with you from the book of names, Nanny Helen Burroughs. Let me share with you from the book of names, David Walker and Reverend Gabriel Prosser and Reverend Denmark Vesey and Reverend Nathaniel Turner. Let me share with you from the book of names, Mother Fannie Lou Hamer. Let me share with you from the book of names, Ella Baker. Let me share with you from the book of names, El Haj Malik El Shabazz. Let me share from the book of names, Paul Robeson and so many others who are in that cloud of witnesses. You are their faith turned to flesh. So you vote and you fight for our legacy, our lineage, and our future because you are some ancestors' faith turned to flesh. Don't back up now. You are on kingdom business. There's a cloud of witnesses who are encouraging us on at this very moment. You are somebody's faith turned to flesh. Let me close with my favorite hymn by my favorite hymnologist, Reverend Tinley. And the hymn, you know it as Beams of Heaven. And the line says, "Harder yet may be the fight. Right may often yield to might. Wickedness a while may reign, and Satan's cause may seem to gain. But there is a God who rules above with hand of power and heart of love. And if I'm right, he'll fight my battle. We shall have peace someday." We are some ancestors' faith turned to flesh. Don't back up now. We're on kingdom business. God bless you and God keep you. And always remember, I'm so glad the tomb was empty. Be encouraged.